We're going to talk about a subject near and dear to my heart. I have Nordic heritage. I do. I love the Nordic countries. I love Norway, Finland, Sweden, that whole area, that whole region of Northern Europe. But, folks, there's something about those countries that a lot of people, liberal minded people and whatnot, would love to import over to our country. And it's something that I think needs to get a little bit more conversation in this world. What is the Nordic model? Why does it work there? And what makes them able to do it and not us? Many may not even know what the Nordic model is. So let's give a brief summary. The Nordic model is the governmental system used by many Northern European and Scandinavian countries, including the likes of Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, and Iceland. Essentially, it encompasses a mix of free market capitalism and a comprehensive and strong social welfare state supported by high, exorbitant taxes. Laws allow often for people to be fired and companies to evolve. Companies have the flexibility to hire and lay off workers as needed to respond to market demands, freer than the likes of here in America, technological changes and globalization. This allows for efficient restructuring and resource allocation, but they have incredibly strong social programs to support the people that get left behind in these instances. You get free education, universal health care, and incredibly generous pensions. There's also a large network of redistributive taxes to assist the poor. A lot of left-leaning individuals, myself in high school, Antifa, your least favorite niece, everybody, they all ask the same question. Well, God damn it, why can't that work here for us? This is America. We're the largest and the greatest, and we get anything we want done with size and demands. Yes, size is part of the problem, but we'll get into that. A massive part of it is taxes. Nordic citizens pay exorbitant national and municipal income tax, not to mention the VAT system, or value-added tax, which is broadly applied high-rate consumption tax that is the cornerstone of their tax system, funding the welfare state programs. Norway's top tax rate is 47.2%, while in Denmark it's 55.6%, and Sweden it's 57.6%. Of course, it's not a one-sided exchange, though. Families get child care, health care, college, paid leave, everything's covered, everything. And people in those countries are just fine with that. They're absolutely fine with their government. I would say as an American robbing them blind, but they are comfortable with it. They are absolutely fine with it, which is exactly why it could never work over here. Norway, Sweden, Denmark, all these places have one thing in common. They are not global melting pots. Say what you want about the United States, but it's a nation built on immigration in ways many other countries in the world cannot say that they were. The Nordic people are completely unlike us. They trust their governments. Their societies grew out from small family-run farming communities where everyone faced the same challenges. That history, it created a culture where people are economically and culturally homogenous. Unlike in America, where your neighbor might not even speak the same language as you. And this collective mentality makes it so much easier for them to believe in their government. America developed in a completely different and, dare I say, better way. We started with this incredible big frontier ready to be conquered. We ain't even going to talk about the fact that it was already settled. We saw this land and we grabbed it. And eventually, we grew from more from that, huge and diverse with massive cities, diasporas, communities with their own ideas, cultures, and ways of living their lives, completely different from the person down the road. So everyone trusting the government and agreeing on massive redistributive programs is way harder. Way harder. Diversity, yes, it can be our strength, but it can also make our problem solving much more complicated. Nordic countries have built stability. We built debates. We built political memes. We built a lot more to watch on TV. And we're already starting to see their system crumble under aging populations. More retirees means less workforce, means higher costs for healthcare, means higher costs for pensions. Nordic countries are also seeing more immigrants than ever in recent years. Which I know you're not supposed to say, illegal or legal, leading to diversity in thought in major metro areas that have the same political debauchery that we're seeing overseas in America. There's no telling if their model will survive until 2050, but I only wish them the best. But that's the basic summary of the idea why these things could never work over here. We're too diverse. Listen, folks. You might say that you want to break your arm and not have to go into debt. You might say that. And, that's fine. You can say that. But you live in a country of cowboys. You live in a country of free men and women who go out there and they love hopping on the horse and they love riding into the sunset. And if you want to be like the Nordic countries, you can't do that. You can't be free to you can't be free to fuck around. You can't be free to go do your own stuff. You have to fit into society where you belong. You cannot go out and be an individual. You can't go out to Hollywood and try and like abandon your family and try to make it somewhere. You have to fall into line. That is exactly how these countries work because everybody there falls into line. But here we have no line. America, we have no line. There is no line for you to fall into line here. You can come out here, you can build a society, a community or whatever. Sure, establish your own township for all I give a shit. That is the only way that you're going to be able to find anything close to what they have over there. A tight-knit, small country that eventually, I'm sorry to say it, is being broken apart by the massive wave of immigration that is happening there. People that they are importing that just don't have the same values as them.